Alright, everybody, wish me luck. This is my first attempt at posting a video on YouTube. I'm popping my YouTube cherry, so be gentle. It's my first time. I want to, I'm sort of playing it safe, and I'm going to respond to the two questions for atheists, because I've noticed that so many people have answered the questions already, so there's a high likelihood that if I screw this up, maybe nobody will even see it or watch it. So that's cool. I dig that. What defines my moral code? Well, I have a bunch of different answers for that, but to be brief, human beings are social creatures. In order to live and work together amicably, there has to be a sort of underlying contract that says, hey, we're in this together. I'll be good to you if you're good to me. I'll work with you if you work with me. I won't get in your way if you don't get in mine. And usually those who decide not to adhere to that principle end up suffering the wrath of the community. And I'll tell you what, here's a little social experiment for you. Next time you get invited to a party, show up, don't wipe your feet on the mat, go inside, eat all the chips, stick your fingers in the dip, drink all the beer, don't flush the toilet when you use the bathroom, and leave without saying goodbye, and see if you get invited back again. You probably won't. It's a really basic sort of fundamental principle. What am I saying? Fundamental principle, and it's almost more scientific than it is philosophical. It's Darwinian, even. It has to do with our survival on this planet and how we've done it up to now. Another way to look at it from at least a more personal point of view rather than sociological would be, well, here, I'll give you an example. When I look at someone, when I observe another human being, and I see them to be kind and ethical and generous and empathetic and compassionate, I think to myself, oh, wow, I like them. I like them, I want to be around them, I want to interact with them, I want to do nice things for them, I want to please them, I want them to like me. When I see somebody who's unethical and immoral and mean-spirited or cruel or arrogant or cheap or selfish, I do the exact opposite. I don't like them. I don't want anything to do with them. And so if I were to look at myself and I find that my actions were in any way reminiscent of somebody that I wouldn't like, then that would mean that I'm possessing qualities that I wouldn't like in somebody else. And so by that logic, I would dislike myself, and I would dislike my actions. And as a general rule, I don't want to dislike myself. I don't want to dislike my actions. I don't want my actions to mirror those of the people that I have no respect for. So I try to be the kind of person that I enjoy being around, because that way I can feel good about myself, and I can feel good about my place here in this world. Another thing is, there seems to be this sort of underlying assumption with Christianity and a lot of monotheistic religions that, and I think it's a flawed assumption, but it's sort of like that we're all really bad. Like we all really, if we could just kill, oh man, it's like all these things are stopping us from doing what we really want to do, and we really want to go out on a killing, raping, murderous, immoral, sexual rampage. Oh man, if only we could do that. And it's just these damn morals that are keeping us from doing that. I don't think that's true. I don't personally have it in me to, I mean, it's hard for me to like even watch a puppy get, I'm kind of a pussy, but I wouldn't have it in me to kill somebody, and I think most people don't have it in them. In fact, I don't even have it in me to be rude to people most of the time. I just don't like it. It's unattractive and unappealing to me, and so I avoid it. I think the question is not why are we moral, but the question should be why are people immoral, and that's something that I would prefer we investigate. And I don't think it's because, obviously I don't think it's because we're born sinners. I think that's a cop-out, but but I think it's a sort of, it's the wrong way of looking at it. So that's my answer to that question. How am I doing so far, guys? Am I okay? Are we hating me? Am I taking too long? Am I stumbling? I don't know. How are my beliefs less prone to creating misery and conflict than Christian beliefs? Wow. Okay. First of all, I don't have beliefs. I'm an atheist. That's the point. If anything, I have a lack thereof. I mean, to have a belief in something, to place belief or faith into something, is to say that you're making a statement about reality or the universe, and choosing to live your life as if that statement is true, without bothering to verify it or find evidence for it or seek any sort of validation for that statement. That's what a belief and faith is. And that's one of the reasons I find that not to be a virtue in any way, to have a belief. The reason that I'm an atheist is because I have good reasons to believe that atheism, not to believe, to suppose that atheism is true. It's because I think it's the most accurate reflection of reality and the universe. I'm not an atheist because I think atheism is some kind of tool for avoiding misery and conflict. If I want to avoid misery and conflict, there's other ways to do that. Namely, avoid misery and conflict. But I don't think a belief, which is a statement about reality, about the universe, should be designed to make us more comfortable or more happy. It should be an assessment of what we think is true. Don't you? That said, I do see your point a little bit. I do see your point because speaking of misery and conflict, when I think back to like my high school classes and the history books, I do remember reading a lot about those atheistic witch trials and what was it, the humanistic crusades or the secular Holocaust? I think it was actually. No, you know what? It was the free thinkers feud between Northern and Southern Ireland. That's I mean, I'm kidding, obviously, but I think part of me is trying to demonstrate that religion, specifically monotheistic Judeo-Christian religions, have a pretty appalling track record in the avoiding misery and conflict department. To forsake reason and things like communication and open-mindedness, and God forbid the possibility of being wrong, and instead choosing to have unshakable faith in the idea that God is on your side, is a very, very dangerous thing. And that's what all these historical atrocities have had in common. Anyway, from an atheistic point of view, this is all there is. So we have really good logical reasons for wanting to be happy and healthy and live amicably with our fellow man, because we're not putting faith into the idea that we're going to get an eternity of bliss after this is all over. If we want to experience an existence without misery and conflict, then we're more motivated to make it happen in our own finite lifetimes. And that's your answer. So, I hope I've done well. If not, I'll be scrapping this, and I think that's my cue to leave.